Okay, so we're here to talk about the rise of the TMNT film that came out on Netflix. We had a week off the podcast, so we couldn't really talk about it too much. I know we both really wanted to talk about it, that
Hmm.
week.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, we're gonna keep this pretty spoiler free. But once again, 10 minutes on the clock. So, what'd you think?
Oh, me? I um
Yeah.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. I just was now I did and you're in the same boat because we watched the first episode of Rise and we didn't watch anything after that, and we thought
Mhm.
there's some cool stuff here, but not really
Sure.
it's not really what we wanted, at least at the time, and still maybe even today. But um good and bad. However, we didn't continue on with the series. And then we heard a lot of people talking about this thing. And there was a lot of like stuff in the community where people were hating on other people because they
Oh
either
yeah.
hated it or they loved it. And it's just this whole thing. And so I was like, okay, let's just watch it. So, my wife and we watched it, and I did a story thing on Instagram. So if you want to check out that and see some of the funny things that are in there, if you don't really want to watch it, but just want to see, our hot takes, you can check that on our Instagram. But besides that part of it, the rest, just watching the movie was pretty good. It was better than I thought it was going to be, and the things that I found annoying about it ended up like kind of in like throughout the movie, they made sense, and they kind of like just
Yeah.
got in the whole mixture of everything to where it was like more palatable, I guess. And yeah, but my favorite thing was what they did with the Krang, because in the
Absolutely.
trailer it talks about the Krang, or in this, and that was probably like the fact that they make it body horror and
So
them
that's
touching
that's
in
something
that.
I wanted. That's something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, that was
First of
fantastic.
all, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Um, I I mean, I really, really, really loved it.
Mm,
Like it might have just been low expectations, and then
yeah.
like they hit it out of the park or something for me.
Right.
But the body horror element was fantastic. I
Mm-hmm.
loved what they did with the Krang. And it's. I think I heard online you said it might be your favorite iteration of Krang you've seen so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, I kind of agree. I think that this is one of the freshest, coolest takes on the Krang that you could get.
Mm-hmm.
It is so intricate.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. So I'm kind of like this. I'm just gonna say something pretty out there. I'm just gonna
Oh.
let it ride,
Oh,
and then and
hold
then
on.
and
Hold on.
then
Let
we'll
me
see.
buckle. Let me get strapped in.
You make
All
sure. I
right.
mean, you're.
Oh.
I sold you the whole seat, but you're only gonna need one. You know what I mean? Um, Let me say, if you don't like this movie, if you're actively talking shit about this movie, you haven't seen it.
Right.
Like that's where I'm at. Like I know that sounds rough. Um, I can't see how you're a Turtles fan and you
Mm.
don't at least like this,
Yeah.
much less like love it. Um, it is everyone is dead on. The Obviously the Splinter isn't my scale,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
we've talked
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
when we watched episode one. Not my scale. However, he's not really in it a ton.
Yeah. No.
And it is all about the Brotherhood. It is so good. It is so good. It's so
Yeah.
hard not to be spoilery.
It is.
But they
But
even get you. So I'm just gonna say this. A lot of people's main sticking point, me and you had a big sticking point
mm-hmm.
on the composition of the Brotherhood and
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote maybe who's in charge.
Yeah.
Um, the way they handled that and the way they brought that around at the end is amazing.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Absolutely amazing. And I don't even really know what more to say about it. It was shot, it was edited, and the storyboarding alone and the little intricate things in every frame and the depth of field and
Mm-hmm.
I it is cinematically amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I agree with a lot of that. It was really good, and I enjoyed a lot of it. Uh, the very few things that I found annoying were just like it was just the stuff in the show that I didn't like in the first episode either.
Sure, sure.
But that doesn't mean that, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater kind of thing. So
But doesn't it
like,
feel to you almost like they mitigated a lot of that anyway?
it did.
Like,
It totally did.
do you know what I mean?
I
It felt
do.
like for some reason, like they like everything, like so when it starts out, like the
Mhm.
opening sequence is honestly very Rise. Like
Yeah.
it is all on it, all just fully Rise of the TMNT as if it were the show.
Yeah.
And then they basically strip it all away. Like like I can't say enough about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
that even if you weren't a fan of Rise, I still think you love this. Like I
And
really do.
I agree, and I think one of the other things I loved about it was all of Donnie's stuff, because
Yeah.
the way that he's integrated a lot of his technology, that was really cool.
That was
And
awesome.
yeah, and they don't like, and then the different villains that come in and out of the show, or this movie, that was really neat. And then how certain things interact with those, like the new and the older villains, like that was really fascinating. And I was like, this is a lot more enjoyable than I thought. And it just goes to show that Turtles, the Ninja Turtles can just adapt to pretty much anything, and it's all a matter of taste. Like, we're not telling you that if you don't like this, then you're wrong. That's, you're
No.
entitled to your opinion, of course. But like,
I was kind of saying that, but
yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, but it just bears it bears repeating that
yeah.
that it just shows that you could still like stuff in this, but you don't have to like the whole thing. Like, we just enjoyed the whole as it was made, the way the talent, divorcing all of the narrative out of it. If you just watched it, it looked really good. It sounded good. It had cool stuff in it, and the characters did cool things. Like, I know that sounds very generic and basic, but
Well, I'll go a step further on that. That's all true. The reason I kind of use it, I challenge people to say, like, tell me you didn't like it, and then really, and once again, after you've seen it,
yeah, well, that's
'cause I think there's a lot of trash talk because it's Rise,
yes,
and they just saw a trailer and go garbage.
Yeah.
If you've seen the movie and can tell me scenes you don't like actual scenes from the movie, I'd love to hear why.
yeah,
Because my big thing is the thing the movie does really, really well, even though it's rooted in a different interpretation of the Turtles, right? And honestly, maybe a more controversial iteration of them, and one of the most divisive iterations. It beyond what you were saying, not only does it look beautiful, it's done really well, but it strips everything down, and a lot of the narrative and storytelling is about the brotherhood of the Turtles.
yeah,
Like, it doesn't. It just shows you that they transcend every iteration.
it does.
It gets almost everything right about their characters, like completely. And yeah, like Leo being the kind of guy that talks back, kind of almost being a weird, like taking over some of Mikey's role a little bit. In that version of Turtles is definitely not my scale.
Yeah.
But they even deal with that. I don't know. Like I just keep like going to like
you're right.
Any complaint you may have, they deal with it. So it's like, what is there not to like?
My biggest ones is Splinter. Not a big fan of, even though what he does was handled well. I just didn't like that design for him. And then April and Leo's attitude, like the way that they present themselves, was a little bit annoying to me. April's seemed more like that's her character, and Leo's does too. But I think this movie the whole point of this movie is addressing Leo's character.
Yeah,
and
So
once I realized that, then I'm like, okay, so I'm supposed to let this go a little bit. I'm not supposed to hold on to this. And that helped me get past that part. But then there's so many like references and like cool little things in there that are neat. But but again, I was not expecting it to be so horror based. Like how much stuff is in there that's like sci-fi and just really freaky, like John Carpenter's The Thing kind of vibes. And that was where it went from being like, oh, this is like a Teen Titans kind of, which I love. I love Teen Titans Go and all that stuff. But this is like something for kids. This took blew that kind of argument out of the water, because it just was like, I'm a little scared. I'll admit I'm a little afraid.
Yeah, no, and it does a lot of great. I was really, really highly impressed. I watched it with Father Preston at the house, and I got done with that thing, and I walked outside, and I was just I was like on a loop where I was going, I can't believe it was that good. I can't believe that movie was that good.
Yeah.
I'd be quiet for a while, and Preston would say some things he liked about it. We go, I'd just come back and be like, I can't believe that hit like that did. I can't believe that it was so well made and so intricate. And that's the other thing too. If you saw Rise's animation style and you were kind of like, I'm not a fan of that 2D shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This movie just ain't that.
Yeah,
This
no,
movie is
it
like
transcends that.
blockbuster. Yeah, it's like a blockbuster version of that. It's
Yeah,
completely beautiful animation.
and
Like just the attention and time paid to it alone, just the intricacy, it just blows my mind.
oh yeah,
That it's so intricate. Every shot is really really intricate. It's
yeah.
really beautiful.
And then I remember one things that I loved about Rise was the foot soldiers. I loved their look.
Yeah.
I thought their look was really neat and sleek, and that was
Yeah.
really cool. And they show up. The spoiler alert, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, they show up and they look fantastic. And then the villains that I
do.
didn't know that are like I guess like in the actual
Yeah.
show proper,
Yeah.
they were fun and they reminded
Yeah, they were
me
fun.
of like what was cool about some of the other iterations where you didn't have a toy of this character or you didn't know about them and they'd show up and you'd be like, who is this? I want
Who's this guy?
it,
Who's
it
this?
triggered that in me.
Yeah.
And I was really excited about that. And I'm like, I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
seeing these guys in other iterations of the Turtles. Like that'd be really rad. And that's the beautiful thing about these different iterations is that once they come out, like they bring their own thing to the table that you might not have got if they just were a carbon copy of 87 animated series or 2003 or 2012. And that's one of the things that got me so excited about this movie. And as I was watching it and getting hyped in it, and it felt reminiscent of when, like I was just saying, when you're a kid and you didn't know, or when you're playing the video games and you see like some characters that they don't have toys and they're not in the cartoon, like they were made for that video game. And you're like, oh, I want to see more of that.
The thing that kind of blows my mind about it that I told Father President afterwards is when the movie started, yeah, it's not my Turtles. I'll be honest. Like I'm just like a lot of people that aren't a big fan of Rise. I don't spend all day online being like, oh, screw you. If you like Rise, you suck. Like, I think that's dumb.
Yeah.
But that's not my thing.
Yeah.
So it started out and it was very Rise.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not surprised. And I told myself, and it started getting good. And I was already thinking, I'm like, this is gonna be like it's feeling gonna be like a 6, 7 out of 10 for me. Do you know what I mean? Like I gotta deduct some points because of the Rise stuff. Obviously the magic weapons, and these are all things I'm just not familiar with. I don't hate that, but not necessarily my scale.
Right.
But at the end, I was like, it addressed it. It basically like righted the ship for me. Everything I saw in the first 10, 15 minutes, that I was like, that ain't my scale. No, that's not my scale. They literally addressed it and made it great. Yeah. Like they literally like messed with it. They addressed it. They pulled it out on the carpet and fucked with it and put it back. And I was just like, okay. Like at the end, I was like, you did it all. You did all of it.
Yeah.
Like that's why for me, it's like a 10 out of 10 for me. Cause I'm like, okay. So we have, this is a personal take and we're going way over the 10 minutes. But
I was about to say
personal take. Well, you're in the middle of making a really good point with 10 minutes. I don't want to be the guy.
Hey, that's fine.
We need a buzzer sound or something.
Oh,
that
yeah.
way,
That
like,
tells us.
No one's the bad guy.
Yeah, no, you're good.
My thing is, I was not a fan of the Platinum Dunes film. You know what I'm saying? The Platinum Dunes films, I really didn't like them. Those are the movies we've had since we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, since I've been in deep, like on that journey, like walking down that lone trail with my boy.
Right.
There's only one set of footprints. He's carrying me the whole time.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
I do.
I have not been excited about a Turtles movie.
Yeah.
I've never liked one. So for being 10 years, almost 10 years in this game, and to see a movie come out that I ended just like blown out.
Yeah.
How great it was.
Yeah.
Means a ton to me.
Yeah.
Like it
totally.
really means a ton to me. And I feel like I appreciate it even more having been on this journey. And that's, I think, my biggest point about it, right?
Yeah.
Is just like, I have not had fun watching a Turtles movie since I was a kid.
Right.
Like seeing it for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously we have fun with the old movies and stuff, but like when we reviewed them. But I'm so happy to have a TMNT film to be like proud of, to actually be able to like walk around and say like, look, my dude, like, have you seen it yet? Like really watch it. And I really want to know what you think about it afterwards. Like, I really want to talk to you about this. I want to drill deep and really geek out on it.
Yeah.
And how beautiful is that to have that? And to have it be so unexpected too. So unexpected. Everyone's got their eyes on Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen. Everyone's got their eyes on, oh my God, I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. Well, my message is it's there. It's on Netflix right now. Like you're like,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like a TMNT film that you can really, like, is touching and honestly made me laugh out loud like several
Oh
times.
yeah.
Like literally,
Oh yeah.
like me and Father Presser are cracking up. Like
Mm-hmm.
make you laugh, get your eyes a little teary and all that stuff and be such a great movie. And
Yeah.
that was just for free.com
Yeah.
on Netflix. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm telling you, if you're got your eyes on the horizon for Seth Rogen, like, yo, while you're waiting, there's another TMNT movie that you could love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally there if you have a Netflix subscription.
And that's an excellent point. All of that was great. That's you pulled together all these ideas that I was feeling, and you put them into words. And so thank you for that. But you have a very valid point, and that's something again. Likewise, the same thing with the Platinum Dune stuff. But we went into those movies knowing that we didn't really like them. We didn't like what we had seen.
We had a strong indication. Like we were like, all right, let's see. I was prepared.
Oh yeah,
I was prepared to like it.
Yeah, because we
like,
like
let me tell you something. Like 10 minutes in, I'm like, you call this family? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh yeah.
And it never addressed my problems. It just gave me more problems.
It just
and
said,
more
my man, which is the
and
only
honestly,
good
I was
part
a little
like.
it's the kind of thing, and this once again, just in my opinion, because I don't like to trash on what people like out of this franchise.
Right.
For me, it was something I was ashamed of.
Oh, goodness.
Like hosting a TMNT podcast, and then people will be like, "Oh, TMNT, oh, like those movies,"
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Oh, the new ones,
yeah,"
and I'm like that's not it. Like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? That ain't it, right?
Yeah.
So what about something that you can be so excited about?
And that's
like,
and that's what's beautiful about this movie, like you said. But the thing is that we went into it also having preconceptions of what the show was, and having watched one episode, knowing that we didn't really care for it, and then doing a complete 180 and being like, yeah, oh, this is actually really good. So that feels good. I love that.
Yeah, my expectations were like 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
I had like a 20% on that. So I thought the odds of me coming out going, all right, was like 20%. And it absolutely blew me out of the water how good it was.
Yeah.
So once again, we love to hear your stuff. Email us at turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the stuff. Comment on on the video. Let us know what you think. Love to hear. And like I said, if you don't like the film, I'd love to hear why.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean like, oh, so I can call you out. No, I really want to know, because it would be a very different perspective than I have. And I'd be really interested to hear it. Right. Yeah. I think we both would be very interested to hear dissenting opinions and stuff like that about the film, because obviously we're both sold, right? Yeah. Like we're both like, we both right now are calling this family.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, so reach out and let us know what you thought about the film and stuff. I'd love to hear everybody's thought process.
Yeah. Cool.
Ooh.
Goodness, that was good.
Oh my God.
So,
yeah, it was. Paul in chat's like, so I'm here and watch this tonight. Yes, Paul, definitely watch it tonight.
Yes, do that.
Really watch it. I know, Paul. I know you're gonna love it. It's one of those things where, like, if you're like, oh, like, Rise isn't my scale, I'm gonna give you 80% that you're gonna end that movie going, okay, Rise.
Yeah.
Like when it ended, I didn't even think of it as a Rise of the TMNT film at the end.
Yeah.
Like at the end, I was kind of like, oh, that's just a great Turtles movie then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, badass. Like, obviously, and this isn't to like take away from the creators of Rise. Like, it's their movie, right? And their character design and feel is throughout the film. Yes. It's not like all of a sudden they just betrayed their whole premise.
Right.
They stick to their premise.
Yeah.
But they also evolve it. And they mess with all the conventions from their show. And that's so smart.
It is.
That's so smart to take, like, magical weapons. What if they stop being magic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Our roles are a little different. What if those started shifting on you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's
neat.
Really good.
It is.
Really, really good. Really good.
Yeah. And if you don't feel inclined, again, like I said, to watch it, you can just find the thing I made on our Instagram, and that'll get you, at least if you don't like that, then I don't know what to tell you. So yeah.
I thought you did that as stories.
I did, but it's saved or something. I'm like such an old man when it comes to that. So it's like there's the whole thing. I think it's like a highlight or something is what the kids call it. And
are they reels? Are you doing reels?
There's so many words for all this stuff.
Or whatever.
So if you go to our page, Turtle Soup Show with the underscores, right before you start seeing a bunch of black and white pictures of me, you'll see Rise of the TMNT under like in a little circle. And you click that and you can see a bunch of the stories that I made. And it was really fun. And if y'all like that, the next time stuff like this comes out, we can keep doing that, Ryan and I both. And
absolutely,
it was just something I was testing out just to see, because on a whim, I was just like, let me just try this. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. And like we said a minute ago, let us know. You know, email us and let us know.
Let us.
So speaking of lettuce, Ryan.
Ooh, that lettuce. You ready to start this combo?
I am ready to start.